Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is November the 25th, 2023. Hopefully this episode finds you well in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. We had another rough morning, sleep-wise, sickness-wise, really coffee. But, coffee. Why did I start off with a word? That's not even a word. But, we're rallying. I feel like laundry went pretty well. We got that done. And, I'm marching along now. Let's see. Food corner. I finally got back to Jupiter Donuts since we didn't work today. So that was nice. I got a chocolate iced sprinkled donut. Then I got a, what the donut person called a black and white donut or a zebra donut, but essentially it's just chocolate icing with vanilla icing on it too. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. And then I got a sticky bun. So kept it pretty simple and easy, and an apple juice. So yeah, that was nice. And yeah, that's more or less where we're at now. You're all caught up with my life. Let's go ahead and do our startup, and we'll get into some news. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. Our first story comes from the BBC. Korean true crime fan murdered stranger out of curiosity. Jung, 23 years old, had been obsessed with crime shows and novels and scored highly on psychopath tests, police said. Fixated with the idea of trying out a murder, she used an app to meet an English language teacher, stabbing her to death at her home in May. Prosecutors had asked for the death penalty, a request typically reserved for the gravest of offenses. Let's see. They told the court that Jung, an unemployed loner who lived with her grandfather, had looked for victims for months using an online tutoring app to find a target. Excuse me. She contacted more than 50 people and favored women, asking them if they conducted lessons at their home. Now, she was posing as a mother of a high school student who needed English lessons. She found a 26-year-old victim, and she lived in the southeastern city of Busan. Now, they haven't identified the victim, but then Jung showed up dressed as a student in like a school uniform, and then once she got in, she just started stabbing, and she stabbed the victim around 100 times, which is crazy. But I often wonder, being a true crime fan myself, if maybe she was so like in on the idea of like, well, a lot of times people think, oh, well, stabbing someone's kind of easy. You stab them one time and you're good. You get in there and like it's kind of over, when actually it's very, very far from that, when, more times than not. And maybe she was just overcompensating, saying, okay, I'm going to like make sure I stab a lot. And stab she did. Then she dismembered the woman's body and took a taxi ride to dump some of the remains in remote parkland near a river north of Busan. Now, this was one big spot where she just fucks up, even though apparently she's a true crime aficionado. She, had a suitcase that she got from home. So that means she took multiple trips back and forth. So there's already that. That's another, flag on the play. But yeah, she had the blood-soaked remains in said suitcase, and the taxi driver noticed it. So it's like, no, dude, like, this guy's not going to be an accomplice to your crime. Like, yeah, so he immediately tipped off the police. Also, she did the browsing history thing. It's so, like, that's a 101 thing. Police said Jung's online browsing history showed she had researched for months on how to kill, and how to get rid of a body. And then not to mention she shows up on CCT, once again, going back and forth to the tutor's home. So, I mean, she was really done up here. She tries to say like, oh, well, I have mental issues and, you guys should be more lenient on me. But no, I don't think hallucinations or other mental disorders are going to, really dissuade people in this kind of situation, especially when there's like not any kind of like historical evidence, it seems, for her. It seems that she really did plan this out. It's just she didn't plan it out well. So yeah, now that's where we're at with it. Obviously very unfortunate, but God damn, I just can't believe someone was like, maybe I can just make some true crime now just to know what it feels like. Yikes. All right, let's go ahead and move along. From the Associated Press, I guess we have a bit of a stab motif here, at least for the first two. Ex-officer Derek Chauvin, convicted in George Floyd's killing, was stabbed in prison, Associated Press says. Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, was stabbed by another inmate and seriously injured Friday at a federal prison in Arizona. A person familiar with the matter told the Associated Press. The attack happened at the Federal Correctional Institution, Tucson, a medium security prison that has been plagued by security lapses and staffing shortages. The person was not authorized to publicly discuss the details of the attack and spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. The Bureau of Prisons confirmed... Oops, sorry, I got a commercial on the way here. The Bureau of Prisons confirmed that an incarcerated person was assaulted at the FCI Tucson at around 12:30 p.m. local time Friday. In a statement, the agency said the responding employees contained the incident and performed life-saving measures before the inmate, who it did not name, was taken to a hospital for further treatment and evaluation. That inmate was Mr. Chauvin. So yeah, I mean, I'll spare you the rewind on, the whole incident with George Floyd. I mean, we've covered that enough, and, the trial and all that. But yeah, I mean, some are saying, hey, this is kind of like a cruel irony or just desserts. Also, it's like the idea of like, well, what about, reform, indefinitely, for sure. I think that's a key thing. I don't want to not take this opportunity to say that like this could have been avoided had, you had a better prison system. You had actually more money that wasn't just going to, the pockets of people, running the shit in terms of like shareholders and privatized prisons, and you just had better prison systems overall so that people could actually live like people. And like, I don't know, it wouldn't be so easy to like get and or make a weapon. And like, I mean, there's literally situations they even cover in this article where like a person, an inmate, acquired a weapon and was trying to use it, and luckily it misfired. But I mean, like that's a big gaping hole there in your security if that's allowed to happen. But when you don't have the staff, when you don't have, the money to maintain the institution, and it just starts crumbling and falling to shit, well, I mean, this is going to happen more and more and more. And sure enough, you're not going to be able to, protect your corrupt little cops that, fuck up and fall through the cracks in the system and, wind up in it. Oh, it sucks to suck. I don't know. We can go ahead and move along. There's other things to cover. From the NBC News. 5 family members and a commercial fisherman neighbor are ID'd as dead or missing. Authorities on Friday identified those missing or killed in a southeast Alaska landslide this week as 5 family members and their neighbor, a commercial fisherman who made a long shot bid for the state's lone seat in the U.S. House last year. Timothy Heller, 44, and Beth Heller, 36, plus their children Mara, 16, Derek, 12, and Kara, 11, were at home Monday night when the landslide struck near the island community of Wrangell. We'll say Wrangell. Search crews found the bodies of the parents and the oldest child late Monday or early Tuesday. The younger children remain missing, as does the neighbor, Otto Forshutz. Floor shoots, 65. Sorry. The Alaska Department of Public Safety said in an emailed statement, Floor Shoot's wife survived. And then they go into a little bit about Floor Shoot's, his, a little bit of his life, and I think like more or less his run, I guess. And then some more details about the landslide. But obviously, condolences to the families. That really fucking sucks. It's really sad. And this is just one of those things where nature just kind of fucking comes and it goes, and there's a wake, and sadly there were people left in that. And it's definitely a sad one. But we have one more thing to cover. I guess you can say it's potentially good news because nobody died. So there you go. But yeah, we'll take a break and then we'll go ahead and cover that. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. I'm sorry, Mr. Microphone. All right. All right. Whew. From Reuters. U.S. thwarted plot to kill Sikh separatists in America. Ooh, okay, all right. United States authorities thwarted a plot to kill a Sikh separatist in the United States and issued a warning to India over concerns the government in New Delhi was involved, a senior Biden administration official said. The U.S. is treating the plot with utmost seriousness and has raised the issue with the Indian government at the senior-most levels, the White House said on Wednesday. The Financial Times first reported the plot. See if I can find the name of the person. Gurupatwant Singh Pannun, who says he is a dual citizen of the United States and Canada, was the target of a foiled plot, according to the senior administration official. News of the incident comes 2 months after Canada said there were credible allegations linking Indian agents to the June murder of Sikh separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in a Vancouver suburb, something India has rejected. Now, I'm hopefully, longtime listeners will be like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that story because, we covered it. But it seems like maybe that, same game is afoot here. Excuse me. Ooh, that was powerful. India's anti-terror agency filed a case against Pannun on Monday, stating that he warned flag carrier Air India passengers and video messages shared on social media this month that their lives were in danger. The issue is a highly delicate one for the Biden administration, which has been working to develop close relations with India, given shared concerns about China's rising power. Now, I know that I tried to do a little bit more research on this, and India has, like I said, there's also more allegations, and in this situation, they really wish that like Interpol would work and extradite like a person like Pannun so that he could face justice in India. And for Pannun, he's saying like this shit is unfounded, and not to mention, I never said anything about like threatening the lives of people or anything like that. I'm merely calling for boycotts. Like I want to see people boycotting Air India because I think, they're unjust or, for, X reasons. I didn't really get too into the weeds here, the details here. I wish I did. Sorry about that. But, and truly in my mind here, no matter what, and not just this situation with Pannun, but also Nijjar, like it does not matter whether or not this person is the exact quote unquote individual terrorist you're naming and dubbing him as, if you're India, like you cannot conduct yourselves in this way. You cannot like perform like assassinations like that. You know what I mean? And I know it's like, well, as an American, how can you say that? America is, they be doing assassinations just at will. They be just like 007 with they shit. True, you're right. That's just not okay either. But naturally, when you get caught with your hand in the goddamn cookie jar here, guess what? Motherfuckers are gonna call you out. They're gonna fucking talk about it, and that's what should happen. So, yeah, like, poo-poo on you for that, India. I don't think that's good. If that's what you try to do, come on now. We can do better. Don't do that shit. But yeah, that's where we'll leave it for today. That's the episode. If you'd like to help out and support, there is a way. Isaiah, patreon.com/Isaiah News. If you'd like to support the effort, become a newsie today. I shout you out at the top of the month. And then also plug a project if you like. Free ways to hit me up, isaiahnews1@gmail.com. And then I'm on all the socials that you're probably jamming. Feel free to follow me or the podcast there. Hopefully you're subscribed to the YouTube or following me on whatever app you're using to listen to this podcast. Really appreciate that. Hopefully you give a nice review, a like, a comment, all that kind of stuff. It really means a lot. But yeah, hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.